Okay, so here's the literacy behavior data binder. And keyword on here is behavior. We really want to focus this year on our behaviors and understandings of our readers, going deeper past the accuracy and comprehension raw scores. So let's just take a walk through the binder. This is just how Marsha Jordahl sets it up. There are many different ways. You have brilliant brains to figure out how you want this organized. So let's just start on the outside. This is the prompting guide. We made a pink prompting guide. And we'll get to this level when we study our behaviors and understandings and what do the children have to be able to know and be able to do. And then we'll pick, if there's certain areas we need to focus on, then we'll pick prompts at the end of our PLC sessions, not this time, but in the future, on what prompts will push those readers. We'll actually, in the next few times, talk about the difference between demonstrating, prompting, and reinforcing. Huge, huge friend. Never leave home or never leave a guided reading lesson without this. Back are our comprehension conversation guides. This side is nonfiction. This side is fiction. So these are just some question starters. So you can pick 2 in this zone and 3 in this zone, and 2 or 3 in this zone. Okay, just guiding questions to help you have some stems. But the other place, if you noticed during my running record lesson, is you can use these as guiding questions. Remember, I kind of gave you a caution that we're not using these for the students to go back to their desk to fill out. You could occasionally, but these are really for us as teachers, because if you look at it, why is Mars called the red planet? That's a great within. How are Mars and Earth alike? That's a beyond the text, and this is about the text. How does the drawing on page 5 help you understand? So you could use on your numbers that you're trying to look for to get a variety of questions, you could use that one within the text, beyond the text, and about the text. You could use those too. So let's go inside the binder. Now, in the olden days, this is what my literacy binder looked like. That was it. Not very fancy. And it was really kind of hard to really see. Each time I did a BAS, this is just my BAS data, each time I did a BAS, I would reorder the kids and regroup them and cluster them. So, not super efficient, but it worked for the time. I like keeping this big one in here because my eyes need the bigger version. I'm choosing to keep in my Appendix A, B, C, and D for the literacy, balanced literacy statement, our appendix that will help me understand what a read aloud should look like. The new chart. These are the third grade Common Core standards on where I can teach this key idea, how I can teach it within interactive read aloud, how I can teach this within guided reading. So that's kind of helpful. I like that. But then here's how I choose to do mine. For group 1, some people like to do these alphabetical, but I kind of like the whole group together. So then they're kind of in order of how I'm going to do the running records too. Oh, and this group happens to be in level O's. So I have what the text features look like in a level O. But then the most important part are, where is it? Yeah, the behaviors and understandings of a level O. Okay, and what a level O should be able to do. Oh, I think I put that over here. Yeah, I put that with the group. Okay, so then within each section, here's this Drew. I just made up a name. I keep every running record, and then behind each running record, we have the comprehension conversation behind each running record. So that when you come to the guided reading, when you come to the district PLCs, you'll have your records all together that we can analyze for behaviors and understandings. If we're searching for evidence of self-monitoring or deeper comprehension. So I put all of this person's, again, I probably, if I were to do it again, I think I'd rather have this one on top. So when I turn to Drew, the latest and the greatest is on top. Again, we just use our highlighter markers. And then this one happens to be N through Z because that's where this person's at. But the flip side of it is the A through M. So let's say this little peanut butter started here at K, and by the end of the year, I would just transfer that data onto this start at the point of M, transfer the next one to N when you move to N in that continuum, that text ladder. the next part, and I like to keep blank running records in the back because maybe I don't have this lovely as these running records are in the touch point. Those aren't the only books we can do running records on. So I keep blank running records in the back so I can do that on the go. And I also keep the blank comprehension conversations A through K on the front. I got caught before. I got the wrong side, so make sure you look at that. And L through Z on the back. And these are adjusted according, because if you'll notice the difference, L through Z has a different ratio based on 10 points. And A through K is based on 6, so you really want to make sure you have the right side. So that's one way to organize your literacy binder, and that's something you as a PLC might be able to share out, other things that you could add to this to make this the most efficient tool possible to inform your instruction and move our readers up that text complexity level. Take care, thanks.